Hi, good morning, welcome. My name is Crystal Reynolds, and I'm one of the local owners and operator of 43 Degrees North. We are a new business in town, so if you haven't ever heard of us, we've only been open for 310 days, and probably 3 hours and 40 minutes. So we are new in this area. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the history of me and how 43 came to be. So for a long time, I was classically trained as a teacher, and so in the education world, and the science, and the health and wellness. And so for the past 15 years, what I've been doing is teaching people health, wellness, fitness, anywhere from an adjunct professor teaching exercise physiology, working with airmen at the United States Air Force Base, trying to help them, get in shape to pass their specific tests. Working with clients that have, Parkinson's and, limited ranges of motion, to, teaching step aerobics or kickboxing or any of those, trends over the years. And during that time, there were a lot of reasons and excuses and things that I heard. So people who didn't show up or came in late or were gone for a period of time, they were things that they would say as, well, I'm too tall, or I'm too short, I'm too thin, I'm too overweight, I'm too old, I'm too hungry, I'm too tired, I'm too hungover. All of these things were excuses that, why clients would say that they didn't come. And so it got to the point where I said, okay, what I have to do here is really take all of those excuses, and I sat down one day and I wrote them down. And I said, what are these crazy excuses I have heard over the years as to why people don't exercise? And for someone like me and people that also work at 43, we're so passionate about being able to help people that we know that if we could just get them in the door, that we could help them change their lives. And so once I started with that list, that's really where 43 was born. And I said, I'm going to create this place, I'm going to create this unicorn where there are no barriers to entry. And I'm going to tick off every single one of those excuses so that people literally don't have a reason to not come. And that's really where 43 came from. So people will often ask, what is 43 degrees? So 43 degrees, 43.2081, is actually our latitude here in Concord. And one of the things that we're specifically proud of is that we are locally owned and operated, and we're proud to be located in the heart of the capital city of the great state of New Hampshire. And so that is something that we really want to own. And so what better way than to say our exact geographic location as our name. So that's a little bit where that came from. So how many people in here have ever been? Okay, so like 2 people in my staff, so that's okay, so I want you guys to be honest, okay? If you are, even if this experience has ever happened to you, so you're driving somewhere in Concord, or maybe not just Concord, but you're driving by and you see new construction. So immediately you're looking at the sign. You're like, what is going to be there? Like for me, I know it's always going to be a mattress store or a bank, because that's just really what happens. So we wait, and the kids and I will drive by, and everyone's like, oh, I hope it's a Cold Stone Creamery, or I hope they always hope that it's the store that they want. So now imagine you're driving down the street, right? It's right next to your house, and the sign goes up, and it's like your favorite clothing store, right? Your favorite restaurant, your favorite hobby store, whatever it is, all of those things, and it's just like one plaza. You're like, this is great. I could just go here and get everything that I want. All my needs are met, right? Now imagine you walk into this plaza opening day, and they know your name, and they greet you, and the place is like surgically clean, right? You have this absolute exceptional experience, and then when you're leaving, they're like, hey Laura, so glad that you came, and we can't wait to see you tomorrow, right? So was that something that you think you would like, right? Well, that's literally what 43 is, right? So we took all of these different areas, all these different locations, all these different providers that people were using and going and trying to bring together, and just said, we're going to put them all together, and we're going to remove every barrier to entry, every reason why someone couldn't come, and we're just going to get rid of them. So that's a little bit about how we came to be. And then, one of the things that really, when I sort of sat down and said, okay, why do people come? Why do people not come? And we all know, we've all had reasons. Sometimes it's the convenience, the location, the schedule. There's all these different reasons why something may or may not occur. But one of the things that really, I think everyone could agree on is that, happy and healthy communities, they start with a location that feels like home. And so coincidentally, we're also located on 2 Home Avenue, which is our address. So that was part of the design feature. So not only were we bringing together all of these things to really create this place, the actual design of the facility is, really thoughtful. So when you guys come, which you are all invited, you will notice that it's designed much like a home. So when you walk into the actual facility, there's a living room, there's a soothing water feature, right? Nice comfy chairs like you would have a living room. We have a welcome desk that has, knowledgeable staff that can answer your questions, and that's sort of the hub. We also have our healthy shake area there, so that's really like our kitchen. And then specifically, if you guys are familiar with, fitness facilities, they all sort of are set up a little bit differently. For us, because we have such a diverse types of offerings, we have 4 dedicated studios. So those are kind of like the rooms that we have in the home. And they have different energy, different vibe, different function. And I know if you go into, my bedroom and then you go into my 14-year-old son's bedroom, you will see a drastic difference as to decor and probably the piles of clothes on the floor. So we sort of have that same, vibe at 43, really trying to create that part of feeling like a home. And you'll see, and when you go there, and if you talk to members, you will also find that there's a specific spaces in the building where people have ownership of those, and they really feel like when they go there, like, this is my place, like I can, get what I need to get done here. All right, I tried to time this to save my 5 minutes. So, how am I doing for time?
You're doing great.
I'm doing good? All right. So one of the things that really makes us different, right? So people will say, well, what do you do? A gym is a gym is a gym, right? So something that really makes us stand out is our philosophy. So what we try to do at 43 is just to make good health simple. And you guys have all known, you go to the doctors, you leave with this end of visit summary. It says all these things, statistics, HDL, LDL, BMI, what do all these things mean, right? But you have this paper, and then the doctor's like, oh, you're fine, you're not fine, take this, right? So it's really confusing. And exercise and health and wellness also has that same sort of confusing aspect where you'll see something that's, a quick fix or 30 days or just do this. And so you have all of these people that are sort of directing you and advertising to you. You might see it on the internet or the cover of a magazine or 3 moves to, sexy abs. But the truth is, it's really confusing and overwhelming. And it's literally my full-time job to try to stay abreast of that, and I can't even do it. So someone who spends the majority of their time trying to educate and inform themselves about their own profession couldn't possibly have the time or the bandwidth to really educate themselves in that area. So we really try to make that a simple process for people, and it looks different for every single one of our members. So you might come in and you might be a veteran fitness enthusiast, and you come in and you just say, do you have this machine? And we say yes, we show them where it is, and they're good. And that makes it simple for them. But we also might have someone who's like a first-time exerciser and they've never been to a fitness facility before. So they walk in the door and they're like, this is so overwhelming, there's so many machines, I don't know where to go, and even if I did figure out how to use the machine, how many times do I use it? When do I come? How long do I do it for? So we really just try to make those decisions absolutely simple, right? So we want to take the guesswork out of it. And so that is really what is a huge differentiator for us, is that we're really able to meet you exactly where you're at and then help you in the best way that we can that works for you to reach your fitness goals. So I think that is it for my intro speech. Fortunately for me, my hobby, my passion, and my job are all the same thing. So I literally could talk for the entire hour about all the things that I love about 43, but I think the question and answer part is really important as well. So who has a question for me? Yes.
January 1st is almost upon us,
Yes.
and that's when we all make our New Year's resolutions.
Yes.
And I'm going to get fit this year.
Yes.
How are you going to keep me until next January 1st?
But that's a great question.
Smile at you. I am going to keep you there.
One of the things that we do is, in all of the offerings that we have, we really have this unique ability that we have so many really passionate people that work with us that you're going to connect with one person. So, it might not just be a good fit, and that's one of the reasons why people are unsuccessful sometimes, is that they only have one option. So you come in and it's option A all the time, and option A might not work for you. But we have option A and B and C and D and E. So what we really encourage our members to do is to try everything. And so we have so many, different variations of workouts and things that you can do, that what you think might work for you, right, might not. And we have a backup plan, and then we have another backup plan. So I think our diverse offerings and the ability to connect with different people, different instructors, different trainers, and be surrounded by different, microcosms within 43 is really where we get our adherence from. Plus, we call you if you don't show up.
There's that.
There's that.
When do you decide to call somebody when they're not showing up? Like, what's the number of days that they haven't shown up?
So we haven't found the exact perfect recipe, but we do work with a CRM. And so we have basically, it depends where you are in your membership. So if you have a new member, we have that sort of recipe pretty down as far as, you get a call in week 1, then you 3 weeks, and then 6 weeks, just to make sure. We also have usage reports, so we can run and say, okay, who hasn't been here in 7 days? Then we look and we talk as a team, so sometimes we know, oh, that person's on sabbatical, or that person's on vacation, or that person's daughter's getting married, or whatever it is, so then we can kind of say, why aren't they here if we have a reason, and then we go back and, the first call is like, hey, we miss you, we really, like you to come back. And then the subsequent calls are, a little more like, hey, we'll come pick you up. Yeah, here, right? Yeah, exactly. So the existing membership, once you've had that onboarding, is a little bit different. And honestly, people are so interconnected with the other members that sometimes they do it themselves. So they'll say, and I've said this for years, and anybody who's been in a regular fitness community, that if anything ever happened to me, I was, God forbid, abducted, that my fitness friends would know where I was before my family would. Like, you'll come in and be like, oh, remember, she's at that conference today. She won't be back until, Wednesday. Because you have that level of commitment to these, communities. So, Tina.
Not that I work at 43 or anything, but I do. So one of the things that we really try and do there is get to know who the client is. And it's about connection. So I'd like you to get to know her so that you two could be friends and be fitness buddies and accountability. So when one thing doesn't work, she might be having success in another area, just like Crystal said, and maybe bring you that way. So it's not just about moving your body and building muscle or losing body fat. It's about building your inside, your heart, right? And the connection to your community. 43 does a lot of work. The CARS series that your guys are going to do, building community connections. And so not only will you feel like a community member in 43, but you'll broaden your community outreach by being a member of 43. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Good.
It's like a big family.
The only way I ended up in there was by accident, because there was like a community event that you guys were that was inclement weather. There was a yoga class.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Success, that was mine.
But it was like kind of perfect, because it would have got me through the door when I was not looking for a gym membership at all. So I don't know if you can like intentionally do that again, but like partner with whoever.
Well, no, it's great. It's great that you brought that up, because we do really feel that way, and one of our really core fundamental beliefs is that we want to serve the community, and not just in our membership base only that would be paying clients, but also provide free, advice, counseling, and opportunities for the greater Concord area. So we do a lot of things that are at no cost. So one of the examples that you're talking about is we have organized yoga on the State House lawn, and Tina was the person heading it up, and that was a really successful opportunity for us during the farmers market. We also had a series where we did 43 in the park, where we did workouts at Rollins Park, and these are all at no cost. So we try to offer as many things as possible. We go to events where we just are even handing out water or bananas or foam rolling or stretching people out. And then in 2019 we're really fortunate to actually be one of the sponsors of the CARS the racing series. So we will have our 10 and foam rollers and some myofascial release and things like that we'll also offer to all of the participants as well. So we do try to get our name out there the best way that we can. we're really happy that you came in.
And I think that we also open the doors, like, we'll just talk about this holiday
Yes.
season, we're having selfies with Santa, which is this Saturday and the following, but it's like, it's free for everyone, so you don't have to be a member. It's just an opportunity for, like you said, that you came in and you wouldn't have come in there. And so giving people a chance to see the club, but then also know that we're trying to be part of the community. So if anyone wants to bring their kids to see Santa this weekend, we've got a pretty good one.
And tonight we have wrap it up and work out, and there's some wine, and a little spell of
Wine is good.
I know it seems like I strategically placed these. It is just, have a chance, but what they're really all getting at is that we really try to go into what drives the human spirit. And we all know, one of the questions when I was preparing, for this and sort of reading, and when I came last week as well, is they always say, well, who is your ideal candidate? Who would buy your product, right? So people will say, oh, do you sell memberships? And I would counteract with, I sell a lifestyle. I sell a way of thinking. I sell a mindset, right? And then I'm a professional at this because I have 2 teenagers, so basically I try to convince people to do things they don't want to do, right? So that's, becoming more healthy. And so when you really look at that, there's a lot of things that make people connected to something. And so you guys know you all have your favorite brands. So maybe you buy a North Face jacket every year, or you have a certain running shoe, or whatever it is, but you are so brand loyal because it has served you well. We really are trying to do that. We don't just see ourselves as a facility, we see ourselves as a movement in the greater Concord area. And we want to be inclusive of everyone and as many people as we can. And so being able to post things on social media that are free for people to come, being able to do things that make our good health simple, right? That also includes good mental health simple, right? So that might be, alleviating the stress of going to the Steeplegate Mall, which I did this
Shop
past
downtown,
weekend.
don't go to the mall.
And there was this long,
No,
long
for
line of
Santa.
people waiting, for the Santa pictures,
Oh, sorry.
kids crying, right? So we were like, we'll bring Santa to 43, free parking, you come in, go in and out. So just like these simple little things that really would make people's lives easier that aren't necessarily related to specific fitness and wellness. Yes?
Do you have clients that have disabilities?
We do. We have a wide range of clients. Basically, what we do, and for our sort of legal aspect is everyone has to fill out a PAR-Q, and that's pretty industry standard, that basically says, has your doctor ever told you that you cannot exercise? So that's the only instance if someone checks yes, then, we have to redirect them to get some type of release from their medical provider before we can provide services for them. But we do have a number of, clients that do have, require special assistance. And we did have a member who was visually impaired. And so we had a trainer that walked around with him and showing him the different pieces of equipment and really just verbally counseling him through his exercise. We also have a Lula lift so that people can get to the second floor, but we provide all of the services on the first floor that we do on the second floor. So, yes.
Same questions before, Crystal. Where are you a year from now?
Well, I think this is going to kind of go with probably Jared's question is what we could do about the community. I think, really reminiscent of what Alyssa was saying as well is most people don't really know who we are. And if you just said 43 degrees, which is what people typically call us, it's not really an indicator of what we do. So if someone says 43 degrees, some people think it's a restaurant. Some people, they don't necessarily know what it is. So I would say that, our biggest goal is a year from now is just to have more awareness of who we are and what we do, because it's really such a unique offering. And it's really, I think people who aren't in this specific industry, it's really easy to sort of lump all gyms together. So, a Planet Fitness, an Equinox, 43 degrees, they all must be the same, they all must do the same thing. So to let people know about that, and really I think our ideal candidate, right, because who's gonna buy your product, right, would be anybody, any human that needs to become more healthful, which would be everybody in this room, right? Everyone's been guilty, especially during this time of year, of making, right, not the best choices, right? So we really, have the ability to help anybody, right? And then we have a really sustainable model as far as being eco-friendly. And that's something that is not really indicative of most health clubs. So we really were thoughtful when we picked all of, selecting the equipment. So like the equipment is made from some recycled steel and manufactured in a plant that has an ISO certification, so that it's really sustainable in that aspect. We also have an entire line of eco-power equipment. And if you've never heard of this before, it's just such a brilliant idea. So basically, our pieces of cardio equipment are all daisy chained together, and that's the term the electrician taught me, so couldn't tell you exactly how that works. But it it harnesses the power of the human energy, so when people are running and they're on the bikes, the upright bikes, the recumbent bikes, and our cycle bikes, it takes that energy that the humans are generating, right, and it converts it right back into our grid. So it's something that we have, and there's like a little screen that really will show you how many kilowatts have been generated and how many, I think it's gasoline, how many gallons of gasoline have been saved, and there's like a couple statistics that go with that. So in addition to the equipment, we also have all of our cleaning products are eco-friendly, they're not petroleum-based. We have all of our self-care products that are organic and they don't have any sulfates. So basically, when you go into 43 and you go into our locker rooms, you will see that we provide all the self-care products for you. So that's even from our towels to shampoo, conditioner, body wash, and then in the ladies' room we have shower caps. We might have them in the men's room too. Not sure they're super used, but we have shaving cream and razors and cotton balls and Q-tips and all the things that you would need. And then we have free daily use lockers. So basically, you can come in, get everything that you need. We just don't supply the clothes, but maybe we could work with.
Let's do a final question.
How much of your marketing is about your social responsibility?
You know what? Not enough.
Because
That's really
that
cool.
for me, like that right there is like, I would rather give you my business than another gym. Just for the sheer fact that you're doing good for the community, and you made that intentionality around the entire facility to that is like huge to my generation, I'd say.
Well, you're absolutely right, and to be quite honest with you, when we opened, we had anticipated and planned and staffed for about 100 to 120 members, and we opened with over 300. So all of the things that we had set out for 2018 kind of blew up a little bit because, with a good problem to have, but we had such an overload in members, and they all walked in at the same time. So they were all waiting just like we were, so we opened the door, and so some of that stuff, although we've been doing it, it hasn't made it to, the general population. And so I think that is, really something that, and to answer Rob's question, is just really try to make a general awareness of what we do, what we promote, who we are, and, who we can help in the greater Concord area.
Great. I think you answered my final
Okay.
question already, so thank you to our presenters.
Perfect. Okay, I have one other, you'll see that Neela and Tina and Brenda, the lovely team, are handing you out reusable grocery bags. We hand them out at the farmer's market for free on Saturdays so that people will, hopefully discourage them from using plastic bags. And attached you'll find a tag to come in for one free day. So we would love for you guys to come. You are all welcome to Home Avenue. You'll see the building on 93, and we would love to have you guys come. So thanks.
Thank you.